Hi Gregor, quick update on your CSL.
Straight to the most important bit. All reinforcement work's now done, and the extra work to neutralise that corrosion and protect against it with the POR 15 rust preventative paint is well underway. That's the second coat that's had. That's the left rear plate. You remember what that was like, corrosion based. We're going to do it in two sections, so I should just point out. So we've done the mounts first of all, and then we're going to work the other items next, as in like the rest of the corrosion on the lips there, and these real troublesome ones that we're struggling. But we're going to work them more. We're going to sort all that out as a secondary pass. We just wanted to get the bare metal mounts done first of all, so that's those there. You asked what the rest of the car was like, so I thought it would be easier to do a picture. This is the battery box, or the battery tray, on the right rear of the vehicle. That's quite common on all M3s. They don't use this bracket. It's totally redundant on an M3. It's for 316 and 330 carbon canisters to clip to, and there's two other ones above it. They're quite poor. Still quite structural at the moment. It's nothing terrible, it's not holed or anything, but that's something that we would recommend probably cutting off, like we do with our underside restoration processes. Get rid of that, treat the corrosion behind on the battery box, POR 15 that, and reseal that. You've got this bracket here, which again is for the M3. This is for the actual M3 carbon canister. That's a boltable bracket, so you can either take that off and powder coat it or paint it at your own leisure. It's just 4 bolts. That one's corroded. We've got the mounts which we're dealing with, these 4 here, 2 there, 2 there. That's on the rear axle carrier panel, so we said we'll deal with those as part of our repair. Got a little bit of corrosion creeping into the rear seat area on these dummy plugs. They're a little bit poor, but again, they're not holed or in any way. Corrosion in the rear trailing arm pockets. These are going to be a bit harder for you to do because the trailing arm's up in there, but I know you've done the bushes before, so you'll probably be quite capable of taking those ones down. But again, if you want us to price that or look into it, let us know. That one's going to be very hard to do because the fuel tank hides that. That's a little breather port for the fuel tank breather pipes. These are the front fuel tank brackets. So if I take a step back and show you where they are on the vehicle, that's the central underside floors. That's where the fuel tank lives. That's the rear axle, that lives up there. And these are the brackets where the fuel tank strap goes on. So you've got one on the right, one on the left. A little bit of corrosion on the seams of different panels. And that's the other trailing arm pocket. You know you've got some around the corners because you end up on the where the bumpers join, because you've done a little bit protecting work already, which is good. So that's what the rear trailing arm pockets look like. The only other area that's all surface is these where the that's a chassis leg support, and that's the main chassis leg. The sealer's starting to split and a bit of corrosion coming in where the panel joins. Now we're sort of halfway under the car, going up towards the engine bay. There's the exhaust manifolds. On the other side of the car, the passenger side, it's very good. A little bit of corrosion. Now we're looking at the, we're up in the front turret. Corrosion up at the turret. Again, this is all surface really, there's nothing structural. And paint coming off, or sealer coming off on the front right. A little bit around the anti-roll bar mounts. But all in all, it's what we'd expect on most M3s, to be honest. Nothing really to worry about, I don't think, up here. And then moving on, a couple of quick updates. Right front steering tie rod is done. We haven't done that to the back plate, that was as per we found that. So that one was carried out. Prop shaft rubber coupling's been replaced, which is on the prop. Brake pipes, new BMW steel powder coated pipes have all been made to shape and are fitted to the fuel breather assembly, so they're ready to go back on shortly. And we've got the rear axle assembly.
with your powder coated subframe and the subframe bushes and diff bushes. There's the front diff bush. Just see the rear Powerflex diff bushes in the case. There are some other things done, like engine bay item trims as well, but this is just a little update for you mid-process.